Sure put on a lot of makeup just to drink some beers.
Hey, it's your dandy, Candy. And if you see me sitting over here, you know what that means. That's right, bitches, it's time for another drinking video. But this time, instead of doing wine, instead of doing beer or spirits or anything of that nature, I decided that we are going to try to do a non-alcoholic drinking video. So today, we are going to be trying a brand of non-alcoholic beer called Bero, non-alcoholic Guinness, and a brand of THC infused sodas. So with that out of the way, let's get to it. So our first entry into this sensational semi-sober 7-pack is going to be Bero, which is a line of beer that was created by Tom Holland, who you may know from the Spider-Man movies. Apparently the backstory behind this is Tom Holland is a bit of a social drinker. He gets nervous, it's a bit of a social drinker, and he realized he was developing a drinking problem. So he decided to switch over to non-alcoholic drinks while also being able to be around people and stuff like that. So he decided to sober up, which I know we do a lot of drinking on this channel. But like I've said before, we always stand a sober king. If you can make it through this world sober, good on you. He decided to come up with this idea for Bero during his second year of sobriety, after he said that his first year was pretty rough, and he thought that if he had something like Bero when he was going through that first year, it probably would have been a lot smoother. He's made 3 different types of beers for this line. They're all named after significant parts of his life. The first one that he made here is called Kingston Golden Pills. This is a England-style golden pilsner named after his hometown of Kingston. Edgehill Hazy IPA, named after Edgehill School, which is the school he went to. And Noon Wheat, which is named after his pet schnauzer. So I've heard quite a bit of positivity about these things. I will say they are not 100% non-alcoholic. They have about 0.5% ABV, which might as well not even be alcoholic at that point. So they're not 100% non-alcoholic, but they are pretty damn close. Let's go ahead and pop these open. I think we will start with the Kingston Golden Pills. So let's go ahead and start with that. So much fucking head. Holy shit, bitch. Come on. Well, it's a very heady beer. Color-wise, very clear. Amber-esque, can totally see through it. Quite a bit of fuzz to her. Very, very bubbly. It's got a nice color to it. Golden Pilsner, that you expect. Smell-wise. It's definitely got like a sweet weediness to it. You definitely get the notes of that beer in there. It's got kind of a brown bread smell to it as well. It's hard to describe it. It reminds me of brown bread a bit. It's nice. It's not bad. Let's go ahead and give this a taste. It's got a nice note of wheat in there. Little hint of citric in the front. It's got a good creamy pilsner taste to it after that. Very smooth. Very tasty, but it does have a little hint of like a brown bread taste to it. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's part of the process of making it non-alcoholic. I don't know. It's not bad. I could say maybe if you like pilsners, this would be something worth trying if you're trying to cut back on your alcohol intake. Works pretty decently. It's not going to substitute the buzz that you get from a pilsner, but it definitely has a nice taste to it. It's kind of refreshing. It's not bad. Get a little more of this. Yeah, it's pretty decent. Apparently, I had heard while he was making these that he actually had Zendaya testing out some of the earlier batches of it. And he knew he was going in the wrong direction when she said she liked the way they tasted, because apparently Zendaya doesn't like the taste of beer. So it seems like they perfected it a bit. It tastes like a Pilsner. It's not bad. Very tasty. Let's finish this off and on to the next one. Okay, on to our second entry of the Bero line that he has. We're going to go ahead and go with King Hill Hazy IPA. Now, you know, if you've been on this channel enough, you know I do like a good IPA. So let's go ahead and pop this top. Okay, so it is a very clear hazy IPA. Very, very, very nice color. Very light yellow. Very lovely. Nice head to it. Not as effervescent as the Pils was. Let's go ahead and give this a sniff. Definitely get the tropical and the citric notes in that bouquet right there. Very nice smelling. Definitely smells like an IPA. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. See if it tastes like an IPA. Let's go. It's very crisp. You definitely get the fruit notes of that grapefruit in there. I can taste the grapefruit. Little tropical notes in there. Very pleasant. Still get a little hint of that brown bread kind of aftertaste. I don't know how to feel about that. It's okay. It tastes good. It just feels like you're missing something when you're drinking a non-alcoholic version of it if you're used to the alcoholic versions. But the taste is there. It definitely tastes like an IPA, a hazy IPA. It's not too bad. Very crisp, very refreshing. Very nice notes of citric in there. Let's go ahead and get a couple more sips of this. You know, I had heard a story that apparently when Tom Holland came out with these Beros, he was selling them at Target, which we no longer shop at Target. And they know why. But he used to get these, he tried to get a pack of these at Target, and they wouldn't accept his ID. You imagine how embarrassing that's got to be Spider-Man, big old famous Spider-Man, coming up with your own non-alcoholic beer line that you can't even buy at the business that you're selling it at because they wouldn't accept your ID. That's just funny. But yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Let me finish this out. That's pretty tasty. That's not too bad. That's a pretty decent. It's a pretty decent IPA with non-alcohol. It's a pretty decent non-alcoholic IPA. Now on to our last entry of the Bero brand, which, by the way, I do love that name. It is clearly a mix of the word beer and zero merged together. It's a cute name. It's a cute little name. This one here is Noon Wheat. So let's go ahead and pop this one open. In case you're wondering why I put the cans like that, it's partly because, you know, it helps for you to know which one we're talking about, but also it helps for me in the editing process to know which part of the video we're on. Okay. So color-wise, very light yellow. It is you can totally see through it. Totally see right on through it. Nice little head to it. Little bubbly. It's got a couple of bubbles in there. Not as much as that first one did. That Pilsner had a lot of bubbles to it. My goodness, so many bubbles. So many bubbles. Smell-wise. Really not getting much of a smell of anything on that, to be honest with you. I'm not sure that's because my nose is just filled up with grease paint and regret, or if it's just it's a very light aroma to it, but I'm not getting much of a smell. This smells like a very, very light beer. I'm not getting much of anything off the smell of it. Let's go ahead and see how it tastes though. Very smooth. Not a lot of strong notes of anything there. It's just a very simple wheat beer. Very smooth, very refreshing. They're not bad. They're not bad at all. I could totally see why he felt that if he had this first year of going sober, he probably would have had a smoother transition to it. But yeah, it's not too bad. Congratulations on that, Tom. You made some pretty decent tasting non-alcoholic beers. So that's not too bad at all. I know he's done other stuff besides the Spider-Man movies, obviously, but let's be real, that's the one that most folks know him for is the Spider-Man movies. I don't see a lot of people talking about, oh, Tom Holland, famous actor from the Uncharted film, or anything like that. But he is mostly known for Spider-Man. That's why I was like, yeah, that's why we had to wear the Spider-Man shirt. I do think that's kind of neat because you do see a lot of celebrities that love to put their name on alcoholic products. I mean, I got that bottle of aviation gin right there. That's Ryan Reynolds. I won't say The Rock has like a tequila. Matthew McConaughey has a tequila. A whole bunch of folks have tequilas. But you don't see a lot of celebrities putting their names behind non-alcoholic drinks. So it's kind of neat to see somebody like Tom Holland made himself a line of non-alcoholic beers. So, I mean, there's a couple that do. There's a couple of them that do a couple of non-alcoholic ones. We're going to talk about another one in a little bit. But yeah, this is not too bad. This is pretty decent. If I was looking to cut back on my drinking and I wanted a beer, but I didn't want to get drunk, I might get a 6-pack of one of these. Sobriety is not my journey, but I do, respect people who it is their journey. So, if you're looking for something to scratch that itch without hopping back on the wagon, worth a try. Although, keep in mind, it's like 0.5% alcohol by volume. It's not 100% non-alcoholic. But not bad. Not too bad at all. Pretty tasty. Let's go ahead and finish this off and on to the next one. I've heard people compare the Beros to Athletic. Athletic is right now one of the most popular non-alcoholic beers on the market in this area. So having these being compared to that, especially with it being so brand new, worth checking out. At least worth checking out. I would say my personal favorites out of the three that they got right there, the IPA is my favorite because I like IPAs. The Noon Wheat is also really solid. And that other one, the what's this shit called? The Kingston Golden Pills is very, very, very bubbly. So worth a try though if you're looking for something non-alcoholic. So we got the Bero out of the way. On to our next one. Our next entry into our non-alcoholic drink video is going to be Guinness Zero. You oftentimes drink Guinness. And I do quite like a good stout. I do quite like a little Guinness. But I'm curious to see how the non-alcoholic version compares to the classic Guinness. This is a non-alcoholic draught. Contains less than 0.5% alcohol. Let's go ahead and pop this top. It's got a little ball in there. Ring a ding ding ding. Yep, that's gonna make it all nice and creamy and smooth. Let's go ahead and pop this open.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
Look at how smooth that head is. Look at that. It's a very smooth, creamy head. My goodness. It almost looks like a cartoon. Oh, now, there we go. Color-wise, nice dark reddish brown. Very lovely, almost black. Smell-wise, definitely get the notes of that stout in there. Kind of a coffee note in there. A hint of chocolate in there. Very tasty smelling. Let's go ahead and give this a sip. Oh, that is delicious. One more time. I would say that is pretty damn close. It's not 100% like how a traditional Guinness tastes. But it's pretty close. It's very close. I would say that if you're definitely wanting to celebrate St. Patrick's Day sober, maybe you got to drive somebody. I don't know. But if you want to celebrate St. Patrick's Day sober, worth a try. Not bad. Very tasty stout. Very nice. Very creamy. I love that little jingle ball that they put in the can. Little ring a ding 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 ding. Made all nice and smooth. Very tasty. Very scrumptious. The thing about non-alcoholic beer, though, is if you're used to drinking beers and stuff like that, and you switch over to a non-alcoholic beer, there is a distinct taste that's missing from it. It's kind of like drinking a regular Coke and a Diet Coke. You know what I'm saying? More like, you know that they both taste close enough to each other, but there's a little bit off. You know what I'm saying? I would say the Beros would be really good for somebody trying to sober up. Absolutely. I would say the Guinness Zero, very nice alternative when it comes to one of the drinks of the non-alcoholic versus the classic. But as somebody who likes to drink, it's just this one little noticeable thing that's slightly off. But otherwise, they're not bad. Not bad at all. So if you're a person that's wanting to get sober or is already sober and you're wanting to celebrate the holidays and have something to drink that's not alcoholic, worth a shot. Worth a shot. Let's go ahead and finish this off and we'll get on to the next ones. But, yeah, let's go ahead and finish this off. Oh, that left such a creaminess to it. Look at that creaminess. My goodness. I'm going to wash this off and we'll get to the last three. Now, like I said, the non-alcoholic beers, they're not bad. If you're looking for something to just drink sober, there you go. Not a bad option. But let's say you want to have a little fun with something that's non-alcoholic, but it'll still get you in an interesting mood or an interesting state of mind. But we're one of those states that's fortunate enough to have medical and recreational THC. And because of that, we can buy THC drinks. Not every state has that. Now, these ones here are going to be hemp-based. They're not marijuana-based. And this is a brand called 2 Scoops. These are THC-infused sodas. Each one of these is 10 milligrams of THC from hemp-derived THC. 3 flavors. We have 3 flavors here. We have cherry cream float, orange dream float, and root beer float. These are all floats. They're the creamy colas. Cokes. They're creamy Cokes. So, myself personally, these aren't really going to affect me too much. I have a very high tolerance for THC. And unfortunately, even if I didn't have a high tolerance for it, consumable products like canned beverages and edibles and stuff don't do anything for me. But if you're somebody who has a low tolerance for THC and that stuff does affect you, it's an option worth trying. So let's go ahead and start with the Orange Dream Float. I have a feeling that these are all going to be clear, but we'll find out. So color-wise, it's white. It's a very white. It's a hazy white color, very effervescent. Can't see shit through it. Very nice looking, very nice. Kind of looks like, smell-wise, very sweet. You get the notes of that sweet vanilla cream. Little hint of that orange in there as well. Very nice smelling, very nice smelling. Let's give this a taste. Very scrumptious. Definitely tastes like an orange cream. Yeah, I've had a couple of the ones from the dispensaries before, and those ones always have kind of like a muddy taste to them because they use marijuana for those. This one doesn't use that. This is using hemp. So you don't get any of that noticeable funky taste to it like you do with some drinks. It's mostly just that vanilla cream and orange that comes through. Very nice, very tasty. And pretty much what we're going to be judging these ones on is how they taste, because again, they don't do shit for me. But if they taste good, then it's worth a try. This one tastes pretty decent. It's not bad. Very lovely. In fact, I might actually drink some of these while I'm working on my next video that I'm going to be doing tonight, because I'm doing 2 videos tonight, so that should be fun. You'll probably see me holding one of those in that. It's not bad. Originally, yeah, let's go ahead and finish this off and get to the next one. Okay, now we're going to try the Cherry Cream Float. This is also, again, 10 milligrams. It says here Delta 9 THC. So there we go. 70 calories a can, too. So if you're watching your weight, honey, 70 calories. Oh my God. 2 servings, though. So technically it's 140 calories. Let's go ahead and pop this top. Well, I guess I was wrong. They're not all going to be white. This one here is very red, very bubbly. Can't see shit through it. This looks like Nuka cherry. Yeah, this looks like what you would imagine Nuka cherry looks like in the Fallout games. Very nice, very tasty looking, very, very colorful. Like that. It's almost the same color as my wig. Look at that, honey, twins. Smell wise, oh, maraschino. Where you get that cherry? Very strong, delicious maraschino cherry note in there. Little hint of vanilla cream. Very prominent cherry. Right up there, bold smell right there in your nose. Let's go ahead and give this a sip, shall we? Ooh-wee. That is tasty. Honey. So tasty, so delicious. Oh my goodness. It literally is probably the most cheeriest of cherry sodas I've ever had. I mean, it's very tasty, very scrumptious. I would absolutely get more of this one for sure. I really do like cherry flavor. And this has a very strong maraschino note to it with that creamy vanilla in there as well. It ain't gonna do nothing to me. But as far as just a refreshing beverage, right here, honey, right here. This is very tasty. I can see this even working well as a mixer for like alcoholic products. I know that defeats the point of this whole video, but I'm just saying, very tasty. You know, originally, I was going to be doing another celebrity-based drink that is non-alcoholic instead of the two scoops. I was going to do House Plant, which was a brand of THC-infused seltzer waters that Seth Rogen of Pineapple Express fame it has put out, but I just didn't like how they tasted. Also, it's like 3 milligrams, so it's like way less than these were. And it just tasted like seltzer waters. Might as well just be seltzer water at that much, to be honest with you. It's not bad. They're okay tasting, but just wasn't my cup of tea. These taste much better, so I thought I'd get these a shot and get you some ideas out there. What's available in some of the states where this stuff is allowed to be sold. It's not bad. Not bad. Let's go ahead and grab some more of this. Oh my goodness. Very refreshing. Very tasty. We got one more to go. Let's go ahead and finish this off. Absolutely scrumptious. For the last entry of this video, we are going to be doing the root beer float. Again, 10 milligrams, Delta 9. Let's go ahead and pop this top. It definitely looks like a root beer. Very dark, very nice brown to it. Very dark brown, very bubbly. Very strong notes of that root beer in there. Very medicinal smelling. Apparently, in some countries, root beer flavor is oftentimes associated with medicine because we used to use it for like herbal remedies and stuff like that, and it has a very similar smell to root beer. So, like, apparently, it's not very popular in Japan, for example. But myself personally, I do like a good root beer. I like a nice root beer. I like a nice birch beer. I like a good sarsaparilla. I'm quite fond of all of the sassy drinks, the spicy cokes, if you will. Let's go ahead and give this a sip. Very smooth, very sweet, very classic root beer taste. I would compare it very similar to like A&W. I would say it's a very similar taste to like A&W. Myself personally, I'm more partial to Barks. But it's not bad. It's not a bad root beer. Very classic tasting, very smooth. Got a little hint of that creamy vanilla in there. Very tasty. Don't think there's much else I can say to that. I mean, personally, the cherry one is kind of helps if I have the can up there, don't it? Personally, I like the cherry one the most out of all three of these, but the root beer is not too bad. If you're more partial to root beer, there you go. Worth a shot, worth a try. And again, it's really just the mileage on this is really just going to depend on how your body's built and whether or not you have a high tolerance for this stuff or a low tolerance for it. A person like me, this is just drinking a soda pop. This is just drinking a Coke. It ain't going to do anything to me. But, because I smoke way stronger shit. But, yeah. Very tasty. I would pick a couple of these up every now and then if I wanted something sweet. You know? Not bad. Let's finish this out. Very scrumptious. Very scrumptious. April's right around the corner. So I'm tempted to try a couple more of these types of drinks for that month. We'll see. We'll see how the reception of this one goes. It's been very hectic and chaotic around the house last couple of month and a half. So we'll see how things go. I definitely dig these. These are not too bad. And like I said, there's at least 7 options right there for you if you're looking for something that's non-alcoholic that you want to enjoy rather than alcohol. There you go. You got 7 solid choices right there. The Beros are really good. I would say my personal favorite out of those is the IPA, with the noon wheat being the second close. The Guinness Zero tastes almost identical to a classic Guinness, although again with non-alcoholic beers, there always feels like there's just one thing missing out of the taste of that, and I'm assuming that's because of the lack of alcohol. And as far as the 2 scoops go, they're all solid contenders right there. All scrumptious, all very delicious. 10 milligrams hemp-based Delta 9, very nice. There's some options for you. It's kind of weird doing one of these drinking videos without getting a little buzzed at least. But there you go. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. This has been Candy Dandy. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a good one. That was a hot mess.